Well, good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Aguirre is absent. Commissioner Anderson is absent. Commissioner Becker. Commissioner Browning is absent. Commissioner McKenzie. Commissioner Whitburn.
Here.
Commissioner White.
Present.
Commissioner Willis.
Here.
Alternate Commissioner Montgomery Stepp is absent. Alternate Commissioner McCann.
Present.
Alternate Commissioner Delaney.
Here.
Alternate Commissioner Drake is absent. Alternate Commissioner Von Wilpert is absent. The alternate Commissioner Delaney will vote in place of Commissioner Browning, who is absent. There is a quorum with 6 voting members present, and the meeting was called to order at 8:19 a.m. And then for the record, Commissioners Anderson and Browning are expected to arrive shortly.
Thank you very much. All right, Commissioner McCann, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner McCann. Do we have any statements from commissioners participating remotely? I do not believe that we do today. Let's begin with a review of today's agenda. Mr. Simons, anything that you would like to touch on?
Thank you, Chair Whitburn. So no changes to the agenda that went out last week. So all the items have held. We're mostly on consent this morning, although we do have one public hearing item involving a unique out-of-agency service request involving Ramona Municipal Water District. And then we have a couple of items under the business calendar, and we'll wrap up today, commissioners, with a inaugural overview of a student art contest, which Aiden will handle. So all in all, we are set to go.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Simons. Let's take non-agenda public comment. This provides an opportunity for anyone who would like to comment on something that is not on today's agenda, but is within the purview of LAFCO. I have a couple of slips from people here in the room who would like to make comments. We have slips from Teddy Jackson and Kurt Warden, and we'll begin with Teddy Jackson.
Good morning. Thank you, commissioners. Hope you had a great holiday. It was seemed like a really special one this year. My name is Teddy Jackson, Birch Avenue, County Unincorporated Escondido, and I'm speaking today on behalf of Protect Rural Escondido and the many residents who continue to express deep concern about the direction of development in our community. Residents across every meeting, every petition, and every conversation, the public feedback has been clear and consistent. Residents want Escondido's rural communities to remain intact. They do not want to see long-standing open fields and legacy ag parcels transformed into high-density developments that are incompatible with the character of the area. People who live in unincorporated Escondido and frankly throughout the city want future growth to reflect what already exists. Low-density neighborhoods, open space, equestrian and ag uses, and the quiet historic rural identity that has defined this region for generations. They want development that respects the land, wildfire risks, limited roadway and infrastructure, and the way of life that makes Escondido unique. I'm here today because of a proposal affecting an area where I live, but I want to be clear, this is not a one parcel issue. There are multiple rural properties across Escondido now being identified for potential annexation or high-density upzoning. My request today is that LAFCO look beyond any single application and recognize the broader pattern that is emerging. We're asking you to take a step back and consider what this means for Escondido's future as a whole. Escondido has always been known as a community with a rural, open country feel, a place that offers relief from the heavy density of the coast and inland metro areas. People don't come here looking for another highly developed city. They come because they want the quiet, the space, the chaparral hillsides, and the feeling of stepping away from congestion. In fact, in a recent conversation with Mayor Dane White, he shared something important. Escondido is increasingly becoming a recreation destination for families, a place people want to hike, bike, enjoy open space, and reconnect with the natural environment. The city's appeal, the economic appeal, and its community appeal is tied directly to the landscape and the rural charm that people value so deeply. That is something worth protecting. Today, I asked respectively the Commission to consider the cumulative impacts of these proposals, not just one at a time, but together. I ask you to help ensure that future development follows a mindset that aligns with what residents overwhelmingly want. Growth that is thoughtful, growth that respects existing character, growth that protects open space and builds upon the rural environment, and growth that keeps Escondido the inviting, relaxed, rural feeling community that makes people want to live here and visit here. So thank you for your time and your stewardship of our region.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. We will invite up Kurt Warden.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name's Kurt Warden, Board President for the Lower Sweetwater Fire Protection District. I want to address an important governance issue, and that's the consistency of LAFCO's adapted policies to its current practices. Policy L107, the jurisdictional consultation policy, requires consultation before a formal application is filed. The purpose is to identify jurisdictional issues early, prevent errors, and avoid unnecessary disputes. Yet, as outlined in a brief by Project Manager Megan Trainer, LAFCO's current practice is to defer consultation until the application is complete and funded. This is inconsistent with policy L107 and undermines its intent. Delayed consultation allows misidentifications and unresolved service responsibilities to enter the record. OAS 2412 is one example, but the concern is broader. When practice diverges from policy, applicants and communities are exposed to risk and public trust is weakened. We respectfully ask LAFCO to reaffirm policy L107, direct staff to conduct consultation prior to application completion and funding, and report back on how practices will be aligned. This is not about one case. It's about ensuring LAFCO's processes reflect its own adopted standards so that all applicants, communities can rely on fair, consistent, and policy compliant governments. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Clerk, do we have any public commenters participating virtually?
No public comment.
Okay, thank you very much, Clerk. Let the record reflect that Commissioner Browning is present. Let's take up the consent items, which are items 5A through 5I. We do have a request to speak on item 5I here in the room, and the request is from Alicia Morrison. Please feel free to come up.
Alicia Morrison for the record. Good morning. I would like to support the nomination of Director Kurt Warden of the Lower Sweetwater Fire Protection District to fill one of the 7 positions of the Special District Advisory Committee. Director Warden is very precise and factual. He will be an excellent resource in supporting the Commission where their responsibilities related to overseeing local agency jurisdictional boundaries, especially those that are in disadvantaged unincorporated communities, because so often they are disenfranchised. Electing Director Warden to a seat on the Special District Advisory Committee will bring a balanced perspective to the Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Clerk, I do not believe we have any participants virtually requesting to speak on the consent items. All right. Seeing no further public comment on the consent items, is there a motion to approve the consent items?
I would like to pull item number 9.
Okay, Commissioner McKenzie.
Actually, it's D.
D?
D.
Okay,
There's no 9.
all
It looks
right.
like a 9.
Commissioner McKenzie has requested to pull item 5D. Item 5D is the approval of the 2026 meeting calendar. So we will take that up after we approve the balance of the consent items. Are there any other requests to pull items from the consent calendar?
I'll make a motion.
Approve the balance of the consent calendar. Okay. And we have a second from Commissioner Browning. Okay. We have a motion from Commissioner Vice Chair Willis, a second from Commissioner Browning to approve the consent items with the exception of item 5D. Seeing no further discussion, clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Whitburn,
Yes.
Commissioner Willis,
Yep.
Commissioner McKenzie,
Yes.
Commissioner Browning, Commissioner Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
There are 6 in favor, 0 opposed, with 1 absent. The motion passes.
Thank you, clerk. Let's go to item 5D, which is the item that Commissioner McKenzie pulled. It's the approval of the 2026 meeting calendar. Did you want to speak on that, Commissioner McKenzie?
Yes, thank you. I would like to ask the concurrence of the commissioners that we meet in September, looking at what we have before us, the major water authority, the 4 hospital districts, Sandag, plus all of the other applications that we have. If you notice and remember, the October meeting that we had this year was like a 400-page dossier. And I would like to put this on. And if we don't need it, it's easier to, not have the meeting rather than trying to get 8 people together to have a meeting. And if it ends up being, talking to Keen, that, there's a very good chance of having a special meeting. Our special meetings, they're 24-hour notice. And if it happens to be something that someone is interested in, and it's a Monday, that means it's probably going to be noticed on Friday, but it doesn't have to be noticed until Sunday. Everybody doesn't hang next to their computer on the weekend. So I think it would be advisable or much easier for all of the commissioners to book it and wait until it gets canceled out rather than trying to come up with another meeting starting, I know what it's like trying to get 5 board members to come up with a date to meet on a special occasion. So that's my question. Oh, that would be a good day. No, I don't think we can even get into the building probably because it is probably the following Monday rather than trying to figure out a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday type of thing.
So that
What's the comment?
that would be Monday, the 14th.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other commissioner comments in regard to Commissioner McKenzie's interest in seeing the commission meet in September?
I'll make a motion that we add September to our meeting date and it be on, well, as best as we can, the following Monday.
Okay, so Commissioner McKenzie has made a motion for LAFCO to meet on Monday, September 14th. We have a second from Vice Chair Willis. Any further discussion by the commission? Does staff see any inherent issues with meeting on September 14th?
No, we can make that happen.
Okay. Seeing no further discussion, we have a motion from Commissioner McKenzie and a second by Vice Chair Willis to schedule a meeting for September 14th. And clerk, please call the vote.
Commissioner Whitburn,
Yes.
Commissioner Willis, Commissioner McKenzie,
Yes.
Commissioner Browning, Commissioner Becker,
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
There are 6 in favor, 0 opposed, with 2 absent. The motion passes.
Thank you, clerk. Thank you, Commissioner McKenzie. And I think the intent of that is to hold that date, Monday, September 14th. And if it's necessary, we have it blocked off on the calendar. If it's not necessary, it'll be canceled. Okay, very good. Yes, thank you. That will take us to our public hearing item. That is item 6A. It is the proposed Barona Band of Mission Indians out of agency potable water services. Do we have any commissioner disclosures of ex parte communications on this item? Seeing no disclosures, we will invite staff to present the item.
Thank you. So Megan Trainer's going to get us started, and I just wanted to also extend LAFCO staff's appreciation to Supervisor Anderson and his staff for helping us get all our ducks in order so we could bring this item to you before the end of the calendar year. So with that, Megan.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. Analyst 1, Megan Trainor for the record today on behalf of staff. And the item before you is the proposed Barona Band of Mission Indians Outside Agency Services Agreement request. This proposal regards a request received from the Ramona Municipal Water District on behalf of the Barona Band of Mission Indians seeking authorization to provide new out-of-agency potable water services to 24 parcels located within the Barona Reservation. The request also involves concurrent authorizations involving 2 wholesale water service providers, the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California and the San Diego County Water Authority. The affected territory spans 1,784 acres, or just over 25% of the reservation, and is currently developed with 282 homes and 14 businesses and community entities, including the Barona Resort and Casino. As shown on the screen, the subject parcels are adjacent to Ramona MWD's jurisdictional boundary shown in yellow and its sphere of influence. And LAFCO's approval of this OAS request will facilitate the construction of a pipeline to bring potable water to Barona with a separate recycled water outside agency services agreement request expected to come before the Commission as well in a future application. And as you know, under statute and local policy, cities and special districts cannot extend services to parcels beyond their boundaries without LAFCO approval. These extensions are generally considered in anticipation of future annexations, so long as these annexations are orderly and feasible. And this OAS request was brought forth to San Diego LAFCO under the provision of California Water Code 716115.5, which allows municipal water districts to extend potable water services to Indian tribes through a streamlined LAFCO process as though those parcels were annexed. And LAFCO must approve this request while retaining the authority to impose any discretionary conditions. And as a result of this, staff have applied a level of analysis to this proposal that we would typically apply to annexation proposals. And the Commission's scope is limited to determining whether any terms and conditions are merited. With this in mind, our analysis are limited to 3 statutory themes: service needs, serviceability and capacity, and financial considerations. And additionally, 2 local policy factors will be discussed: Policy L102 and Policy L103. Regarding service needs, this OAS request and the extension of retail water remedies reliance on uncertain groundwater within the reservation and will also resolve the need to truck in water supplies. Barona's long-term water demand has been projected to exceed the sustainable yield of their underlying groundwater basin, and this has prompted a 2021 water feasibility study, which identified Ramona MWD as the most cost-effective provider of water long-term. Regarding serviceability and capacity, Ramona MWD has sufficient capacity to accommodate this proposal. An existing MWD potable water distribution main is located within the public right-of-way of San Vicente Road. It is projected that the average day potable water flow generated within the affected territory will comprise just 4% of Ramona MWD's remaining treatment capacity. And should full development take place on the reservation, this would increase to 7.9%. Regarding financial considerations, Ramona MWD has sufficient financial resources to accommodate this proposal without adversely impacting current ratepayers. Barona will finance approximately $5 million in connection charges and commit to an annual in lieu property tax payment of approximately $195,000, along with capacity fees and other applicable charges from Ramona MWD, as well as other assessed fees from the County Water Authority and Met. San Diego LAFCO's Policy L102 guides sphere of influence actions. Consistent with Government Code Section 56076, spheres of influence are planning tools to be developed in cooperation with cities and special districts to determine their probable physical boundaries and service areas. This policy further directs the Commission to use spheres to guide discussions on, among other topics, future reorganizations, the preservation of community identities, and determining the need for governmental reorganization studies. Staff recognize the unique relationship between the sovereign Barona Band of Mission Indians and Ramona MWD. Given the expected permanency of this relationship moving forward, it would be appropriate to consider the merits of formalizing this relationship by expanding Ramona MWD's sphere of influence to encompass the affected territory. However, given the statutory purpose of the sphere, as well as unique distinctions associated with tribal lands, staff believe that it is premature to address this topic with this OAS request and recommend postponing consideration of this to a future municipal service review on the Ramona region. Lastly, regarding policy L107, no disputes have been disclosed by any of the affected agencies, nor have staff identified any concerns during administrative review. This brings us to our set of recommendations for the proposal grouped on the screen. First is to approve the requested OAS agreement and finalize this out-of-agency potable water service agreement between Ramona MWD and by extension CWA and Met with the Barona Band of Mission Indians. Second, to direct the executive officer to revisit consideration of a sphere of influence action involving the affected territory for either an amendment or a special study area to the next municipal service review covering the Ramona region. And third, authorize the executive officer to file a notice of determination adopting CEQA findings parallel to Ramona MWD as detailed in the report. This concludes my presentation, and I welcome any questions from the commission. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now open the public hearing. Clerk, do we have any public comment on this item?
Not online.
Okay, and we know we have no requests to speak here in the room either. So with that, we will close the public hearing and we will begin our commission discussion on the item. This is an action item. It will take a motion and a second to move the item forward.
Just like to, one question, clarify, you're finding a parallel with CEQA. Could you explain that one a little further?
Yeah, so as lead agency, Ramona Municipal Water District has already made CEQA findings for this project. So we would be adopting their findings, which means that we're finding those to be sufficient.
I make a motion, we go with staff recommendation.
Okay. We have a motion from Vice Chair Willis to approve the staff recommendation. We have a second from Commissioner McKenzie. Any further discussion on the item? Seeing no further discussion, let the record reflect that Commissioner Anderson is present. And clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Whitburn,
Yes.
Commissioner Willis,
Yes.
Commissioner McKenzie, Commissioner Browning, Commissioner Anderson, Commissioner Becker, Commissioner White.
Yes.
There are 7 in favor with 1 absent. The motion passes.
Thank you, clerk. Turning to our business calendar, item 7A is an applicant request for a discretionary fee reduction or waiver. We will turn it over to staff to present the item.
So we're going to ask Megan to do double duty today, and this is on its own another unique request, as Megan will detail, and ultimately lands on the commission's dais with the question, what say you? But for the details, Megan.
Thank you. Analyst 1, Megan Trainer again for the record on behalf of staff. Item 7A is a request from a landowner to waive or reduce the fees associated with the proposal to annex 2 unincorporated parcels totaling 2.3 acres to the Lakeside Water District and to detach these 2 parcels from Padre Dam Municipal Water District. And this will also require sphere of influence amendments to both districts. The purpose of this proposal is to make public water service available to the affected territory to accommodate the construction of a single-family residence. The total monetary value of this fee waiver is estimated to be $18,894, assuming that protest proceedings will not be required. In reviewing this fee waiver or reduction request, the commission must make a financial hardship finding and tie giving a waiver or fee reduction to a public benefit. San Diego LAFCO's existing fee schedule offers 2 distinct types of fee waivers and reductions, pre-approved and discretionary. Pre-approved waivers range between 50 and 75% in reduction and may be granted by the executive officer, limited to proposals that advance specific legislative objectives, including eliminating unincorporated islands, addressing public health threats, and annexing disadvantaged unincorporated communities into cities. Discretionary fee waivers or reductions must be formally approved by the commission in response to a written request from a landowner under two circumstances. The proposed action aligns with a prior commission recommendation, or the applicant demonstrates financial hardship as determined by the commission. The landowner has submitted a written request under the latter scenario and is the first formal fee waiver that has, based on financial hardship, that has gone before the commission. All previous applicants had decided to withdraw their applications after realizing the high threshold for proving financial hardship. The applicant for this proposal provided proof that their income falls below the County of San Diego's 2024 low income threshold for a 5-person household of $131,000 based on the Department of Housing and Urban Development's 80% annual median income threshold for the region. Staff recommend the commission consider the following alternatives for action. If the commission is inclined to grant this request, staff suggests basing this approval on a connection between the applicant's demonstrated financial hardship and a public interest in enabling additional housing stock on unincorporated land zoned for residential use. If the commission is inclined to deny this request, this can be based on finding that the underlying project, the construction of a private residence, does not directly serve a public interest, even if financial hardship is demonstrated. If there is no consensus on granting or denying the request, the commission may authorize the EO to develop a payment plan that would ensure full cost recovery. We would bring this back to the commission for later approval. And the key issue to be explored here is how to manage the loss of leverage in obtaining fees from applicants once their proposals come to the commission and are approved. This concludes my presentation. I'll now turn it back to Chair Whitburn. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Trainer. I do not have any requests for comment here in the room. Clerk, do we have any requests for comment online?
No public comment.
Okay, we will begin our commission discussion on this item. And we'll start with Commissioner Becker.
I'm curious about the 18,895,000. I am assuming that that is all staff time. And if you could describe a little bit more how we come to that number.
Sure. Thank you for the question, Commissioner Becker. So the fee schedule is based on how many jurisdictional changes are happening. So for something that would not have protest proceedings, or we would be applying a CEQA exemption, that would be the lowest on our fee schedule. And the first jurisdictional change would start at 6,400 approximately. And then from there, we would add about just under 5,000 for each jurisdictional change that happens thereafter. So here we have the primary jurisdictional change to annex, and then to detach, and then also the accompanying sphere of influence actions. And there are no other actions, correct?
No.
So there's 4 actions which would total the 18,000, and that is to recover the costs through the administrative review.
And that means that that our staff is taking those hours from their day to work on this project, and that's why you've come up with that figure. In other words, we're not making a profit on the 18,000.
Correct. If a fee waiver were to be approved, then we would use staff time without having that cost recovery from the applicant.
Yeah, so it'd basically be taxpayer dollars would be used for this one single residence project.
Yes.
All right, thank you for that.
Vice Chair Willis.
I was going to make a suggestion that we do approve the waiver. Sorry, I'm trouble getting that out.
Is that a suggestion or is that a motion?
It's a motion.
All right. We have a motion from Vice Chair Willis that we approve the waiver. Commissioner McKenzie, and then we'll go to Commissioner White.
Could you just
So Commissioner McKenzie, great question. And ultimately that's for the commission to decide. We have offered through Megan's report a nexus that we believe would be appropriate if you want to go down that route, which would be, and help me if I've stated this correctly, but essentially facilitating the development of residentially zoned land consistent with the county policies that otherwise would not happen. That's the best nexus that we have made, and we think it's reasonable. But that's the question for the commission. Not only do you believe that this is a financial hardship that merits commission remedy of some sort, but can you, and I'll defer to council to go further into this, can you also then say it is a public benefit as well?
Well, that's where I was having issues trying to figure out, waiving fees for one individual. We're going to have a flood of people coming in. And I think the last time we had this discussion, it was commented by Director Willis that it was a slippery slope. And once you start sliding down that, everybody's going to want one. And they're going, excuse me, and they're going to have, referred back. Well, you did it for him, you did it for her. Why can't I do it? And then I do have a question. Do you know what the status is of the detachment and the annexation? I mean, are they, those are public agencies also, and they charge for their time and what the cost is for that detachment and the cost of, for the annexation. Are they asking for those waivers also?
So since we haven't received a formal application, we haven't done the level of analysis and understanding connection fees on the side of Lakeside Water District since we haven't received a proposal. We haven't been processing a proposal, though this is the first financial hardship application we've received from a private landowner, given that the threshold prior applicants have not been able to prove financial hardship, private residences applying to LAFCO.
So you have the proof, I don't know what was presented for financial hardship. I mean, we can all come up with numbers, look at my tax return, it's like, oh, I fall into that category. So,
Commissioner McKenzie, your comment is certainly on staff's mind about precedent setting. But that's at some point in the commission's history, it was a policy decision that I think predates everyone in this room that you allowed an applicant to come forward requesting a waiver or a reduction based on a financial hardship. Separately, statute requires this public benefit. As Megan mentioned, in the past, the only applicant that has gone past the discussion with staff was recently Palma Valley CSD, and that's a government agency, and that's a little different, and they had a different argument. So here we are looking at a portion of your policies that the commission, not staff, but the commission maintains, and staff is saying, what say you? We've never gotten to this point. All the comments that you've made, staff would align itself with, but it is this policy that says an applicant can come and ask for a waiver or reduction. And so this is our beta test on figuring out how all of you want to deal with this.
Okay. Did you have any further questions?
no.
Okay, let's go to Commissioner White.
I guess sort of building off that, is there another example of the commission giving a fee reduction based on just meeting the low income threshold as the standard for financial hardship?
No, and staff's attempt at quantifying this income to local conditions was staff's good effort. Megan, Michaela, and Priscilla trying to figure out what other government agencies do, and perhaps you could speak to that, Priscilla.
Sure. So thank you, Commissioner White. So we went forward and did some research on what other agencies apply something perhaps similar. And we came up with a policy from the County of El Dorado that does have a policy on when they waive or reduce fees. And in that policy, they state that they are to consider fee waivers anytime an applicant comes forward and can prove that they meet the 80% area median income level that the California or the state of California provides. And so in this case, they've provided tax returns that show that they do meet that threshold. So that was our attempt to say, okay, there is another county that applies this, and perhaps here we can apply the same should the commission be inclined to provide a fee waiver.
Okay. I guess that's what I'm trying to balance in my mind is whether just meeting the low income threshold is, do we consider that a financial hardship or is that just being unable to afford the cost of doing business? But I'm anxious to hear what everybody else has to say.
Thank you very much, Commissioner White. I have a question that I'll ask Ms. Trainer. I wasn't able to quite get, what is the plan for these parcels? Do you know?
Yes, so we did receive a request in writing in terms of the plan, the construction. So constructing a single family residence, and they're about 3.5 years in the planning and permitting process, and they recently were surprised to realize that they were not able to connect to Padre Dam Municipal Water District system, and they need to connect to Lakeside Water District.
Okay. And so far, we have not in the past had applicants that were that met the financial, for lack of a better term, low income threshold to get the waiver. Is that correct?
Yes, we request applicants, are you able to meet prove financial hardship? And most or all have not moved forward in requesting a hardship waiver or fee reduction.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to second Vice Chair Willis's motion based on two facts. One is one of the biggest challenges that we have in San Diego County is the need for more housing. And we consistently hear that we want more homes to be built for people with lower incomes. And here, in fact, we have a family that meets the lower income threshold that wants to build a home. I think that is something that we ought to encourage. And while I recognize the fact that this may in some level set a precedent, it hasn't happened before. And if we have more low-income families wanting to build more homes, I think that would be a good thing. So I'm not afraid of the precedent in this case. I'm happy to second the motion. And let's hear from any further commissioners if there's any additional comment.
I just have one question of Priscilla. Was there any, forgiveness of fees in San Diego County, City of San Diego, Chula Vista, any of the larger cities, smaller cities, anywhere local? El Dorado's all the way up north. And that's the only one that you found out of how many?
Yeah, it wasn't something that we came across locally.
Okay.
I will say for the city of
They would
San
be
Diego,
setting precedent.
yeah, I will say for the city of San Diego does subsidize low-income housing to the tune of tens of millions of dollars, as many jurisdictions do. It's not in the form of a fee waiver per se, but it's a direct subsidy to allow for the construction of affordable housing.
I'm curious if you guys would accept an amendment to the motion to maybe look at subsidizing a little bit of the fee waiver. I am not in favor of finding that one person building a home is a public benefit. I think that's a little strong. So I'm curious because I just think that really does open the door for every single person to come and ask and say that that's a public benefit. I understand what you're saying about housing, but I would say that, it would take more than just one home. So I'm just curious if there's a way to find, if he's got a hardship, maybe there's partial payments or something that could be worked out would sit better with me than to waive the entire fee. Because again, we have to look back that it is taxpayer dollars that we're deciding, should go to one person. And I'm a little hesitant to do that.
Okay. I could appreciate that. Let's go to Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. When I got elected, my district, and this is in my district, had 58,000 homes by right. We've reduced it to 0. I'm not worried about additional people doing it. There's not going to be any new unless the Board of Soups completely changes its climate action plan and then vehicle miles traveled formula. So what the real question is I start down this process. It takes me 3 years to get a permit at the county. The costs are far greater than what they say it's going to be. The cost of the lumber and everything moving forward has only gone up, it hasn't come down. This is the straw on the camel's back. If we can get a home for $18,000, that's far less than our subsidized housing cost us. When you think in terms of how much per unit, when we're putting money into homeless and building units, it's around $450,000 a unit that the county and other partners are paying. I appreciate what everybody has said. There's a lot of strong arguments of why we shouldn't do it, but we shouldn't be in the business of can't. We should be in the business of can do. And when you think about affordable land, my district's at the top of the list, and yet 58,000 homes by right have been removed. So I'm prepared to support this. I don't see thousands of these coming forward. I'd be surprised if there's 10. But if this family doesn't build this home, what are we going to do? We got to be part of the solution, not continue to be part of the problem. And the ways that government, at least at the county level, has chosen to go are far more expensive than waiving a fee of $18,000. It would be great too, is if we were able, with this motion, to send a letter to Lakeside Water asking them to waive their fees as well, so that we have partners in this, not requiring it, but requesting it. Thank you.
What about the detachment fees from Padre?
I would send them a letter as well. I will assure you, as a Padre customer, if I could become a Lakeside customer, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Lakeside has the second lowest water rates throughout San Diego County. Padre has the third most expensive, not that I noticed.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson.
There's a reason for
All
that
right.
too.
Do we have any further commissioner discussion on the motion? Yes, Commissioner Delaney.
I just have a question. Will the family be required to live in the home? So this is not a spec home. This is actually their residence?
They have an ADU that they're putting.
Yeah, that's another
building
thing too.
also.
So they'll be able to do an ADU and another ADU and
Ms. Trainer, do you know anything about those plans?
Since we haven't received the proposal to our commission yet, our understanding is it is just a single family residence and that it is the family of 5 that's residing there.
and they will reside there.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is there any other commissioner discussion? All right, good discussion. Let's go ahead and take a vote on the motion that is on the floor. It is a motion to approve the staff recommendation number 1, which is to grant the request and approve the request based on the applicant's demonstrated financial hardship and a public interest in enabling additional housing stock. That was your motion, correct? All right, which I seconded, and we'll go ahead and ask the clerk to call the roll.
Commissioner Whitburn,
Yes.
Commissioner Willis,
Yes.
Commissioner McKenzie,
No,
Commissioner Browning, Commissioner Anderson.
Aye.
Commissioner Becker, Commissioner White.
No.
So there are 4 in favor, 3 opposed, 1 absent. The motion fails due to lack of majority vote.
Thought we had,
Is it
Eileen?
no?
Eileen, aren't you voting today?
4 and 3? So that's good?
4 yes.
Okay,
Oh,
the motion
yeah.
passes, sorry.
Didn't we
Sorry.
change the formula of votes?
We
Previous
did,
year?
for a floor of 4.
Just so that everybody here, I'll go ahead and I'll call on folks. Commissioner Anderson, what was your question? Do you have your mic on?
In our previous chair, I thought he worked really hard to change the vote count, that a 4-3 actually wins, that 4 votes could win. Prior to that, you had to have 5, but he lowered the threshold and he won that vote.
For the benefit of the public.
Commissioner Anderson's memory is outstanding. So correct. So with our policy within the last year, The floor is no longer 5, it's 4. So as the clerk had mentioned, the vote that you just took actually is successful on a 4-3 count.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Good discussion. With that, that motion passes. We will now move on to, well, item 7B is next on the agenda, but we're going to be hearing item 7B after closed session. That is the possible approval of an amendment to the executive officer's employment contract. So let's move now to item 8. That is a special presentation. It's an informational item on our elementary school LAFCO art contest winners, and we'll turn it over to staff for the presentation.
So Aiden will be doing this, and there's some intrigue. Here he comes to the podium. Very good.
Drum roll.
And I just, as Aiden takes the podium, I do want to compliment Aiden. So a year or so ago, there was, and I think he'll talk about this, some examples of how other local agencies go about engaging our future commissioners at a very young age and getting them to think about LAFCO topics. And so there begot a process that Aiden has overseen with the help of the chair, vice chair, and Commissioner Becker. We'd like to present what we have done so far. So Aiden, it is all yours.
Good morning, Chair Whitburn and Commission members. For the record, Communications Associate Aiden Velasquez on behalf of staff. And before I get into the presentation, I just want to preface the results for the fall art contest were finalized right at the beginning of the meeting. So we will forego the presentation or the visual presentation, and I apologize for that. But right after the meeting, it'll be online. It includes a video overview of all submissions, and then we will have the finalized 3 winners on there as well. But to give some context, so the item before you today is a verbal report on the inaugural fall art contest. And like I said, the video will be online later, so you can get an overview of everything that everyone submitted. But the fall art contest was constructed with 2 main goals. The first being to foster our organizational connection to those across the county. And the second goal, to create an awareness for the importance of local planning, especially in the young minds of San Diego County elementary school students. And it was inspired by the Olivenhain Municipal Water District art contest. And the overall hope is to make it, like the Olivenhain art contest as well, an annual contest that can spark an interest in local planning among the future generations of San Diegans. And to begin the contest, we contacted all 23 elementary school superintendents found through the San Diego County Office of Education, and an informational email containing an infographic and online submission form was sent out on October 2nd, and the submission deadline was at the end of the month on October 31st. And students were given a clear theme, illustrating how people and nature can exist in harmony. And we laid out several rules as well. So 1, artists must attend an elementary school in San Diego County. 2, the art must illustrate the theme of harmonious coexistence with nature. 3, only 1 submission per student, so no group submissions. 4, no computer-generated art. 5, the art must be submitted with the name of the school, name of the student, contact information, and their grade level as well. And 6, judges will evaluate the art based on A, adherence to theme, B, creativity, and C, overall design. And the judge's decision will be final. But perhaps the most exciting and important detail for these young artists is the prize. So the top 3 artworks, as determined by the judges, will receive a $50 Michaels gift card, as well as a certificate of artistic accomplishment. Winning pieces will also be featured on our website and other promotional LAFCO material. And before we announce the winners, we want to extend our gratitude to all superintendents, classroom teachers, art teachers, parents, everyone who made this contest possible. And of course, a huge thank you to the over 90 students from 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade that took the time to let their creativity wander in showing how we can all live in harmony with nature. Oh, we actually do have the video here, so thank you to staff for preparing that. But if you want to take a moment here actually to look Like I said, we got over 90 submissions and each one was wonderful. So I'll let that video play out before we announce who won. All right, so while you guys are taking a look, I'm actually going to go ahead and announce the winners. Excuse the pause. But we have 3 winners, one actually from each grade level. First, in no particular order, we have Lily Taganov, 5th grader from Sage Canyon Elementary School. Second, Audrey Liu, a 4th grader from Ocean Air Elementary School. And Brian Zhu, a 3rd grader from Ocean Air Elementary School as well. And again, thank you to everyone who participated, and we will be awarding in person the gift cards and certificates of accomplishments at a later date. And more content will be available about the awarding of those certificates and gift cards online and on social media as well. This concludes my presentation, and I'm open for any questions or comments. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Certainly want to thank Mr. Velasquez and the LAFCO staff for coordinating that. That is a wonderful opportunity that you provided those students, and want to thank all of the students who participated in this. There's some real imagination that went into that, and love the color and the creativity, and just some really well-designed artwork there. So wonderful to see it. Congratulations to the winners. And really appreciate you taking the time to provide us with a review of the artwork and letting us know about the winners. Any other commissioner comments? Let's go to Commissioner McKenzie.
Just real quick, how many schools was it throughout the county, or was it, South County, North County, or was it the whole county?
Yeah, so we went actually and contacted all 23 superintendents that were listed on the school finder on the San Diego County Office of Education's website. So from there, we're hoping that the contest information was disseminated to all the schools and all those districts. Yeah.
Very good. Thank
You show us the top 3, or is that not possible?
So yeah, since it was decided, like actually after the meeting began, who won, it might be a little hard to show it right now, just as we can't alter the presentation at the moment. But right after the meeting, we can go ahead and upload those to the website. If you want to look, I'll edit the slideshow, and that's where we'll present those top 3. But my apologies for that, and appreciate the last minute voting as well.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Velasquez. All right. Seeing no further commission comments on this item, we will move along to item number 9. That is a closed session item for a public employee performance evaluation. So we will return after closed session, and we will now move into closed session.
Pretty good. Decisions just. I love. My heart feels really good. Yeah. Sorry. Go. Yeah. 4%. Yeah.
Just on. Seven. Oh, we have eight. No, we do have eight. Okay.
All right, welcome back. We have now completed our closed session. We are back in open session, and we will now take up item 7B, which
No,
is
apologies to interrupt. I just wanted to make a for the record that there was no reportable action taken in closed session.
thank you. Council informs us there was no reportable action taken in closed session. We will now take up item 7B, which is the possible approval of an amendment to the executive officer's employment contract. Clerk, do we have any public comment on this item?
Give me just 1 second. No public comment.
Okay, no public comment on that item. We will begin our commission discussion on this item. I'm going to begin by making a motion that we offer the executive officer a 3% bonus based on an outstanding performance review and for the purpose of retaining high-performing staff. Is there a second to that motion, or we have okay, we have a second from Commissioner Becker. Further discussion on the motion. Commissioner Anderson.
I just wanted to echo, you've done an outstanding job. In the 5 years I've been here, you've grown on this job in a fantastic way. And I'm really pleased to have you on board.
Okay. Any further discussion? And that was absolutely the sentiment of the conversation, and I'll share more with you later, but the very strong regard for your performance. All right, seeing no further discussion, clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Whitburn?
Yes.
Commissioner Willis?
Yes.
Commissioner McKenzie?
Yes.
Commissioner Browning? Commissioner Anderson? Commissioner Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner White?
Yes.
There are 7 in favor with 1 absent. The motion passes.
Thank you, clerk. All right, we will go to item 10, which is the executive officer report. Mr. Simons.
Nothing to report, but I do want to say thank you to the commission for, again, allowing me to serve LAFCO and look forward to another great year. Thank you.
Thank you. Any commissioner announcements or requests for future items? Commissioner McKenzie. Do you have your mic on? Did you turn on your mic?
As the engines go by. One is the policy that the gentleman was talking about, having consultations before the application and all the money is paid. And I think that's a policy. I think we need discussion as to whether or not we want that to continue or whether we want it, modified. And the other one, can you bring us up to have a, under probably business or somewhere, the status of the old applicants? I noticed they're not on this list anymore. Those 6 that have been wandering around and taking up paper for the last 15 years, some of them. So can we get a status report of those?
I would be happy to bring back information items at the next meeting.
Okay, appointment time.
Very good. Our next meeting is the first Monday in February. All right, and with no further business,